I wanted to put a video out of what's blocking you after this previous reading I just did about what is coming into your future. And with that was a lot of like having to let go of any kind of like hang-ups that you have because of the heartbreak of previous relationships cumulatively, and how to use your intuition to discern who are the right ones for you and who are not. So let's see what's blocking you right now with this. Sex only. Oh, either or you or your partners only want sex, except that it's okay to reach for more. And this is funny because this is exactly what I've just cut off. I'm attempting the dating apps again, and so far it's a weekend and I've had zero luck because these guys are so full of like traumas and avoidance and whatever like addictions they have. And this last guy, he lasted one day, not even a full day of conversation with me, when he just started going on and on and on about sexual shit. And I'm like, no, not my style. Anyway, eye candy, beauty fades. Choose someone for their inner beauty and their personality. Yeah. And let me tell you, the ones who have lived in this low way, this very superficial way, this very just like sexually, physically driven sort of way, and totally empty on the inside, that shit catches up. I guarantee you. Once people start hitting around 40, and I think that's why there's this like kind of saying of, you know, once you hit 40 things go downhill, 40 is over the hill, whatever it is. I think it's because around that age is when all that shit just catches up. It catches up internally, it catches up externally. You start really noticing these people falling apart. That's why there's like certain individuals who look fucking fantastic for their age, or have kept like a really healthy, you know, lifestyle. It's something that stays throughout their entire life. These people are like vampires in a good way, that they never seem to like, you know, they seem to be a little bit more superhuman than the norm. Fear of cheating. Not everyone cheats. You need to open your heart and trust your partner. Yeah, you've been cheated on. And I get it, because people who are in the indulging in the eye candy and the sexual stuff, they have no control over their impulses, you know? And not only do they not have control of their impulses, these people also have like, they have this crazy ability to know that they're doing something wrong. They know that they're doing something that harms another person. But their magic that they have is a sick magic. It's a dark magic, because they can like totally ignore and avoid and compartmentalize that shame and guilt that they cause in doing what they're doing so selfishly, and still continue to keep doing what they're doing with hardly any kind of like guilt whatsoever. And these people will do this their entire lives. So the trick is using your intuition, like I said, to be able to spot out these red flags right from the jump, and not be afraid to use your voice to speak about whatever it is that you want and do not want, and how you want things to play out. Oh gosh, past trauma. Yeah. And in this, it's letting go of your past trauma. You need to take time for yourself and heal your past trauma before moving on. Yeah. You don't want to keep repeating being gravitated toward the same energies. You need to make sure that with every interaction that you have is very intentional, meaning you are very much understanding exactly what kind of exchanges are happening in your conversations, in your energy, in your physical, Don't try to cling to people to fill a void. Don't do what these people have done to you. You know, don't let that past trauma control you either. So, yeah, just tackle those feelings and then let it go and release it, you know. Release it in a way that you know it's always going to be a part of you. It's always going to be there. And that's good. Because why would you want to go through all that bullshit and learn what you've learned to like forget it or ignore it or act like it didn't happen? You want to get to the point where you are embracing it so hard that you are actually grateful because you learned and grew so fucking much and elevated because of it. And therefore, it won't even become something that keeps you in the dark anymore. It's going to be like a source of power instead. It's that transmutation shit, you know? No good ones in criticizing. Okay, you're going to be very guarded, critical, potentially pessimistic. I can understand this because it's kind of like how I'm feeling about the options on the dating apps. I'm noticing there's a lot of broken men on there, and usually I can spot it right away just from their profile alone is enough for me to pinpoint exactly what their issue is. And I think that's the thing is like, you know, get into this like hyper focused on making sure we keep ourselves protected from experiencing that kind of shit again. And it might come off as too guarded or too harsh or too cold to some people. And that's the thing is you don't want to come off as like dismissive, you know. You want to be open. Open, but able to use your knowledge to just clip out any kind of waste of your time. So that way you're not going to just sit there and say there are no good ones. They're all blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just like there's less of them out there, but they are out there. So you're going to have to, you know, get used to doing a lot of clipping, but you will find the good ones too, you know. Being cold as I'm talking about that, right? Yeah, you seem unapproachable because you are aloof. Try being more friendly. Okay. All right, I hear ya, universe. I myself will try to be less cutthroat with my communication, but yeah, because I can be really really brutal, especially like in a very beginning interaction with me because I'm already like such on guard. There was actually one person recently that messaged me. He was totally soliciting me to try to like pay for whatever coaching program this person did. But this person has like, you know, almost 900,000 followers and shit. I didn't even bother to look at this person's page. I just immediately assumed they were like a scammer or whatever. And I talked so much like rude shit to him. And then right after I kind of like looked at their profile and realized it was a real human. And I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. You're not a scammer. But still, no thank you. Anyway, that's what I mean. You can still, you can do a nice way of, you know, interacting and then do a nice way of saying no thank you. And I think that's what this is bringing, this reading. So I hope you enjoy.